Welcome to this episode of Tempest Universe podcast, and we've got some wins and we got some losses, and even a win might be a loss to some people. We'll see what the debunkers have to say about the video that was released by Logan Paul as part of Jesse Michael's American Alchemy podcast, as he interviewed for 3 damn hours, over 3 hours, the interview with Bob Lazar. It's crazy. It's crazy long, but it was the documentary S4 that kind of gave Logan Paul reason to finally release this video under threat of lawsuit, to be honest. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think anybody, and as a matter of fact, if he gets sued, people in ufology should come help him out, pay for an attorney or something. Because why wouldn't you release this video? Why would Chuck Clark just hold on to this for so many years? Come on, Chuck. Almost 40 years holding on to this damn video. The story goes that this video is about some kids, college-age kids, who rode up to Area 51 back in the mid-90s after Bob Lazar came out the closet with UFO information as a whistleblower. And they went out to the gate, the black box gate, the infamous black box gate. And they were out there late at night. That really is the best time to go, to be honest. When I went, it was during the daytime. But they were out there and something showed up. Something showed up and they were shitting bricks. If there's a way to relate that in a ufology type of way, shitting bricks, I don't know. Is that a technical term? Probably is. But they're out there. And here's the video, thanks to American Alchemy. We've got it right here. What you're looking at right now, if you're looking at this right here, can you see my mouse? Yeah. This appears to be the steering wheel. This is a dashboard. It's a 90s car, so they had them bulky ass dashboards. And they see this thing and they're kind of freaking out, right? The glow, as it explained by the folks that are watching or presenting the video, is from the UFO. It is literally hovering around their car that was sitting outside of Area 51. According to Logan Paul, the only reason why, or really the main reason, that he actually let this thing out, let this be shown on American Alchemy, is because of this glow. Because if you watch S4, the Bob Lazar story, there is a point in there where they show, using technology, CGI and all that kind of stuff, what Bob described as when he saw the sports model UFO flying saucer in flight, he said there was a glow about it. Like when that thing was about to move, it had this glow around the craft. A glow, kind of like what's in here. And according to Logan Paul, once he saw that, because up until now, he didn't believe that this was a real UFO. He had a lot of doubts. But when Bob Lazar explained the glow, and you'll see why, if you haven't already, this thing is everywhere, to be honest. Every single UFO-related channel out there has it. But here it is. You're going to hear good old Jesse Michaels talking about it. You'll hear the folks that are in the video themselves kind of sounding like they're really scared. And they should be. Question is, where are these guys now? Are they going to come out now that the video is out? I would think that would be really the best follow-up for this whole situation. But here we go. Let me shut up and play.
The dashboard, and you see something very clearly illuminating like the top of the dashboard, and they're like hunkered underneath the car and they're whispering to each other like, I think it's out there, like I don't know what it is, maybe we should go out there. And they're like kind of scared.
Then something appears just beyond the glass. The craft is hovering extremely close to the car. It's orange and slightly wobbling or undulating in place as if it's on a wave. You can hear the two guys whispering.
It's out there. Stop it. Over there.
Yeah, that to me is exactly how it was described by Bob. It's exactly like your hand did. Your hand did.
Yeah,
this.
it's moving the right way.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
right.
Wowzers. So there you go. So Bob Lazar does kind of, in a way, he kind of confirms that that's what he saw when he saw the sports model being flown over at S4. Now, I would think he'd be a little bit more giddy about it, like really excited, because he was so excited about how the CGI kind of captured everything he went through, everything that he saw. It seemed like he was like deep in thought right now. Now, keep in mind, this is a VHS. Logan Paul, allegedly, supposedly, they say that he had a button camera and he went to meet old Chuck with the pretense that he was going to purchase this film from him. Of course, what legend goes, history goes, and James Fox probably knows a little bit more. When he got there, old Chucky decided, I'm not going to sell this video to you. But Logan Paul came prepared. He came prepared with a damn camera, a hidden camera that he used to record the video. And that's why it looks that way. You know, you're basically recording a video on a video from almost, 30, 40 years ago? So that's why it looks that way. Now, according to James Fox, that's the way it was grainy already when he saw it. But I mean, he didn't see it back in the mid 90s. He saw it a little bit further up. But this, of course, is after the whistleblower situation with Bob Lazar. I mean, we could be looking at the sport model for all we know. We could actually be seeing the craft that was shown to us during the documentary S4. And here it is in real life. Someone caught it. What about 7+ years later, after the whistleblower situation with Bob Lazar, and he left the program. It's a crazy video. Let's be honest. You can rewind this a few times. I've seen it quite a few times. I have yet to finish the episode this was on. So it is American Alchemy with J.C. Michaels and Bob Lazar and the director of S4. And they're all there looking at this. It took several days for him to film this, so it changes scenery. They'll be in the room on the set of the podcast. Then they'll be walking in the street. It's okay, but 3 hours, it's too damn much. I could barely watch all these 3-hour long movies, these epic movies, let alone rehashing the Bob Lazar story again for the 20th time in the last 2 weeks. But the link for that specific interview with Bob Lazar on American Alchemy with Jesse Michaels, and eventually Logan Paul shows up by video chat in order to kind of set up the situation of the video, how he kind of obtained it, and everybody sits there and watches it. It's a good video. Gotta be honest, for it being that old and on VHS, it's a good catch. Now, yes, these guys sounded scared, like they were caught by something, and they were a little bit skittish. Like I said, dropping some gifts in their pants while they're trying to hide under the dashboard. But all in all, can't really say this is fake. And if you've never been out there to Area 51, if you've never been out to the gate, you got to do it at least. If you're a UFO buff, you got to go out there and just be in the moment. It is an incredible place to be. Even if you're not even at the gate, stay like a mile out and just come out and just stand out there in the environment. And I guarantee you, you will understand exactly why that area was chosen for all of these activities, all this secret activity. It is awe-inspiring. And I'm telling you, the environment itself will let you know why secrets are kept there.
Greetings, listeners of the Tempest Universe. If you seek the truth beyond your skies, like this transmission and share it across your networks. And subscribe before we return.
Today was a due date. Today was a day that Anna Paulina Lee's request. Why did I say Lee? I always do that. Luna. This is the day that she was supposed to get a response from the Department of War and Pete Hegseth, and crickets. Nothing but crickets. Now, I'm pretty sure that there weren't many people that were thinking that the first salvo towards the Department of War and Pete was going to result in anything. And again, it is very possible that we will still see a post or a reason behind the lack of evidence from the Department of War. I mean, just through this topic alone, they really show us that Congress has no power. It's like, I don't understand. They've got zero juice here. Nothing to stand on. They can make all the demands they want. If the executive branch doesn't feel that they need to see it, they won't. They won't give you anything. It's like I said, there hasn't been an answer. I mean, was there a specific time? I don't think there was. They didn't say like, hey, hand it over by end of day. You got till lunchtime, buddy Pete. I don't know. If I feel like we kind of expected this to happen. But is this going to embolden these guys to just take matters into their own hands? If they know what the files are they willing to go out? Hey, look, you guys might lose midterms. Just say screw it. Just say screw it. Just go out there and get the files yourself. And if you lose midterms, just put it out there. Nobody cares. Actually, a lot of people do care. So I don't know. There might be an act of desperation. I know that Tim Burchett this past weekend has been everywhere. He's been doing everybody and anybody that would want to interview him. He's there, sitting in that chair, in that glorious library that he has in his home, doing interview after interview about this UFO UAP situation. So they are really trying to get the American people behind what they're doing. But we do have to say that, Pete is kind of busy with the shit in Iran. So, how do you tear yourself away from that? That's actively happening right now in order to release files. Files that eventually could, bite you in the rear end if you don't take the time to review them first. Then it comes back to, does Pete even have the ability to review them? Does he have the clearance? Wouldn't that be something if Pete Hegseth doesn't even have the clearances to review those 46 files before he sends them to these folks in Congress? That may be the issue of why it hasn't gone anywhere. Pete has to take time to get into his skiff in order to see these. He doesn't have time right now. He really doesn't. So we'll see what's going to happen. Is there going to be a follow-up? Is Anna Paulina Lee going to tell us tomorrow that she was in contact with Pete and he's like, hey, give me a little bit more time? I surmised on Sunday that there would be a delay. And here it is. But this might be a permanent delay. They might just get declined altogether. We'll see what happens. Don't keep your eyes in the skies. Keep your eyes where I can see them. Eyes up here. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the Tempest Universe podcast. And don't forget to follow us everywhere that you are. I mean, if you're on X, I'm there. If you're on Instagram, I'm there. If you're on YouTube, hopefully you're there. Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Hell, I'm now on TikTok. Just meet me there. I'll be there with you. I am totally okay. Because I get around, to be honest. Ciao.
subscribe and share.